Hello everybody, and welcome back to CedarPointDotTV.
This week we're going to stay at Lighthouse Point and check out Cedar Point Shores. While we're there, we're going to ride the new Sirens Curse for the passholder preview day. We took my mom and her friend Sharon this week.
Yep.
That was fun. We stayed at the Lighthouse Point. We stayed in one of the cabins.
It's a really nice cabin. I liked it a lot. It's kind of small, but it's to be expected from a cabin.
You can stack a lot of people inside there.
You definitely fit a lot of people inside of there. I don't know about hanging out inside of the living room area comfortably, but you can fit a lot of people in there.
That's for sleeping. So we went Thursday and we got to the park around noon and we had backbeat queue.
Yep.
It was really good. We got the burnt pork ends, I think they were called, which we had never tried before, and they were really good with the macaroni and cheese.
And we were able to split, 3 meals with 5 people?
We split 3 meals with 5 people.
And we were all hungry.
We were all full.
Yeah.
And it was the burnt ends were really delicious. I really liked them.
They were awesome.
We had not had them before because every time we tried to get them, they were out, which that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got to the park at like 12:30 around there, and then we went and we had lunch, and then we went to the Palace Theater, and we saw the Country Crossroads. That was a pretty good show.
I loved it. It
Yep.
was awesome. Everything about it was great because it was a lot of good music. First of all, if you like country music, you'll like it. And then like they had props and stuff, so there's a little bit of acting thrown in. I thought it was really cool.
Definitely.
Yep.
They're very talented. They were able to kind of change into the next song completely, including whipping out some bale of hay and everything.
Yeah, whipping out props and doing all kinds of stuff as they're singing. It's awesome.
Yeah, they weren't really singing the full songs. It was kind of bits.
Yeah. It's like there's a term for that, and I guess I'm not smart enough to know that. Give me a comment down there. If I probably have Googled it by then, but your comments would be appreciated.
Yeah.
After we did that, we kind of headed out. It started to kind of rain. It was bright out, but we could see behind us thunderclouds rolling in, and it felt really good. It was misting on us, but we knew it was time to get out of there. So,
Yep.
So we swooped into the park, caught the show and grabbed lunch, and then we went and we checked in at Lighthouse Point at the cabin. We stayed in the accessibility cabin. We were gonna order the one that was not, but that was what was left. And then we had my grandma and Sharon with us.
Yeah.
So it all worked out really, really well. And after we did that, we rode the shuttle to the marina entrance.
Yeah, it's our first experience using the shuttle system at Cedar Point, and I think it works pretty well.
It does, yeah.
Generally, yeah.
The Noah probably says generally because the marina entrance is kind of messed up right now because of Sirens Curse.
Yeah.
And I could tell even the drivers were like, dang it.
They still haven't fixed
They
it yet.
wish it was fixed.
They've got certain rules they have to follow about pickup and drop off in that area, and so that actually kind of messed us up a little later when we were trying to leave from that entrance. That was actually quite difficult.
And we couldn't find the phone to call the shuttle so that they could come pick us up.
He told us where it was when we were on the bus later, though.
Yeah, so we know where it is now.
But we came in that marina entrance, and then we rode the Valraven twice.
Yeah.
Because it's like right there, so why not?
It was pretty cool to be able to just go in there and immediately be at Valraven.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then we rode the Millennium Force.
It's always a good ride on Millennium Force.
Yep. And then let's see. After that, we grabbed up some Panda Express because while we rode the Valraven, or actually after we rode the Valraven, and we were riding the Millennium Force, Noah was hanging out in the Millennium Lounge. It's always a great place to hang out.
Yeah.
And we ate the Panda Express at the Millennium Lounge. So you get off of Millennium Force and it's right there, so it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And so we got the sweet fire chicken. I actually always get the sweet fire chicken. And
That's
the
our
noodles.
favorite.
And it splits between the 3 of us as a perfect kind of snack, especially on a hot day. You can't really eat too much.
Yeah.
You're riding all the rides and it's hot, so we have snacks throughout the day. After that, we went and rode the Top Thrill 2, always a good one. Sometimes it's down,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's not. So it's just the way she goes, you know?
It runs way more often than it does not
Yes,
run.
absolutely it does, especially recently. And it's a great ride. It's a short ride, but it is a great ride. And I wouldn't call it the best ride. I wouldn't call it the most extreme ride either, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's not the most extreme. It's not my favorite in the park, but it's an enjoyable ride. The view at the top is a really nice view. It doesn't last very long, but you get to look around real quick and it's pretty cool.
Then you just make a little elevator. It goes up that high.
Yeah.
I guess I can apply for a maintenance job, I don't know. So on the way back, Happy Friars right there. We were heading back towards Maverick and Steel Vengeance, which are more thrilling rides than Top Thrill, in my opinion. And on the way by Happy Friar, Lily really wanted to try the pickle on a stick. It's a new thing there.
Yeah.
It looks pretty interesting.
I went into the situation knowing that it was not on the dining plan, so brought my card with me and also had a past perks discount for food, so I thought that would work out pretty well to be able to try it. Just to let you know, they don't have them like ready and made sitting in a tray like everything else. When you order it, you have to wait like 5 to 10 minutes for it to be made before they hand it to you. I did not know that when I tried to order this, and like I asked for the fried pickle on a stick, was told, okay, we know you want the fried pickle on a stick, and nothing else. And so I didn't know what I was waiting there for, so I left.
Kind of need some instructions, like, okay ma'am, that will be a certain amount of time. Could you please wait in this specific spot that I'm pointing out to you?
I would have gladly waited, because later we came back and I asked a lot more questions and I found out what was going on and I waited for it and I tried it and it was good. It comes with this like zesty kind of sauce, I would try and call it. I don't know what it was supposed to be called. And yeah, it was delicious.
When later on, when she got that, we ended up getting the mini corn dogs because we had meals left too. So it kind of worked out because we did that after riding the Maverick and the Steel Vengeance, and then after we ate the corn dogs and the pickle, we just decided it was time to head on back to the cabin.
Yeah.
We actually had a pretty pleasant night at the cabin because we were exhausted, so we slept well.
It was really nice to be able to go back to the cabin. Usually after a long day at Cedar Point, we drive home.
Yeah.
And that's really tiring.
Yep. So, and then Friday, so we wake up Friday, we actually hung out at Cedar Point Shores for a while. That's why Grandma and Sharon came with us. They wanted to come and enjoy Lighthouse Point and hang out at Cedar Point Shores. And personally, I've never been to Cedar Point Shores. I know, shocker, they have.
It's been a really long time though.
And so I really kind of wanted to see what it was all about, and so it was a pretty good time. Really, really, really sunny.
Very sunny. I think we're all just a little bit sunburnt.
Oh,
some more than
absolutely.
others.
I think everybody that was there is probably a little bit,
Yeah.
sunburnt. And so when we got there, we had we went to the Dockside Cafe, and we got the cheeseburger and the chicken sandwich meal, and we cut both of them into 3 pieces, and so we each get a little chunk of each, and some French fries to share. Again, you can't, like I said, you can't eat too much on a hot day anyway. So,
Yeah.
So we like to try to make these meals like kind of stretch a little bit throughout the day.
The hamburger, it's a decent hamburger. It's definitely not the best hamburger on planet Earth, but it is edible. I somewhat enjoyed it. The chicken sandwich is better than the hamburger, but also not like the best chicken sandwich in the world. It's just a chicken sandwich. They don't give you any lettuce or tomato or anything.
Yeah, don't trust the picture.
Yeah, the picture on the building has it with lettuce and tomato and onion and stuff, and it looks good. But
And if anybody that matters who has control over these things, all you have to do is take the lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickle, slap it in those same little plastic containers the salads are in, and boom, you're done.
Yep.
And just people grab those as they grab their cheeseburgers. Maybe they don't want
put
it,
it
so they don't
on
grab
the
it.
sandwich.
This is some simple stuff. So.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then we checked out the wave pool, Lily and I did, while Noah was hanging out with, at the, wait, no, you had gone back to get water.
Yep, at that
right?
point.
Noah, nice as he is hiking back to the cabin, which isn't too far.
Not far
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
really
Filling
not
the
far.
back up with water, bringing it to us, so that's really cool. It's really awesome to have a Noah around. If you don't have a Noah, I highly suggest one. And,
Non-riders are important.
So after we had that cheeseburger,
Yep.
we checked out the wave pool, Lily and I did, and then we went to brave the line of the Sirens Curse for the pass holder entry. And Noah stayed behind. He actually was hanging out in Cedar Point Shores. I think everybody knows, and if you don't know, Noah doesn't ride all the roller coasters, but he will ride all the water slides.
Yes.
So, and but we've been looking at Sirens Curse for a very
Since,
long time.
I think they announced they were going to build it in like October, and we've been very patiently waiting.
Yep. Well, we got a little impatient once, and we swooped in December just to kind of take a look at the progress.
Yeah.
And then we ended up standing in line for 2 hours
and a
20
half
minutes.
hours.
2:20, 2:25, something like that. It was a long time.
Yeah.
We don't stand in line that long.
Yeah, we're used to fast lane, where the longest you'll wait, like if it's super busy, like maybe 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the fast lane line open for pass holder
Makes
entry
sense.
day.
Makes sense.
They want you to wait.
Yep, it makes sense. and long story short is it was worth the wait, but at the same time, it was a very excruciating wait.
Yeah.
I had put my stuff in a locker beforehand because I try to be prepared. And here at Cedar Point, we get penalized for being prepared just about every time.
And paying more money.
And well, I didn't have to pay more money, but it was potentially, it was possible that I would have.
Yeah.
They helped me out with that part. So we put the stuff in the lockers outside of the ride. I'm just gonna skip to the end real quick and say you can just take your fanny pack in and put it in the free locker.
Yeah.
It'll fit, it all works, it's great. We found that out because I didn't have glasses straps and I had to do that anyway. So we went through a 2.5 hour line with no cameras. Otherwise you'd be seeing some B-roll about it all.
Yeah, we don't have any, sorry.
I got some of outside the line though. And so I put it all in there, we get through the line, we're both dying of thirst 2.5 hours later. The sun beats down on you 50% of the time.
Bring a water bottle with you
Yes.
when entering the Sirens Curse line.
Unless you're going through fast lane, because I'll bet you once they open that up, you're looking at 20
Yeah,
minutes.
you probably won't need it if you go through fast lane. Just drink water before entering the fast lane. But if you're going through the regular line, definitely bring water with you.
Absolutely.
You're gonna want it.
You're
Maybe
gonna-
even
yep.
a snack.
Maybe even extra water for the person next to you. It looks like they're gonna die. So, you know. Anyway, we get to the end, we get on the thing, we get up to the tilt, and it tilts.
It was awesome. We were in row 9, so it's like almost the back. And when you start to tilt, you kind of like lift out of your seat a little bit. So you're like leaning forward over the people that are down there watching you tilt. It's awesome.
When you're at full tilt, what a great term.
Yeah.
Full tilt, you're leaning out of the seat, and like there's a little bit of give in the restraints. So
Yeah.
you're leaning out.
You're leaning out there.
And you know, all the naysayers can continue to say nay. That was a great drop.
It was awesome. And I've heard some people say that it's just like Valraven. No, it's
Nope.
not. It is not just like Valraven. And maybe like in the very front row, I haven't experienced the front row, but I know for sure towards the back, it is not like Valraven at all. Totally different feeling.
Nope. And some people are saying, and it's like a mix between Maverick and and Valraven. But really, if you're gonna do a comparison like that, it's really more of a mix between Valraven and Steel Vengeance.
Yeah, it's really
It's super
smooth like Steel Vengeance. Maverick, when you go through those twists and turns, it's not like rough, but it's like really fast and jerky. On Sirens Curse, it's like smooth and maybe a little slow.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's smooth and it's not super overpowering. And so you can actually just completely relax and let yourself enjoy all of the airtime that's on that ride, and you're not going to get injured.
It totally fits the name Sirens Curse because it's kind of entrancing to go through all of those twists and turns at that speed so smoothly, and it helps with the audio that plays on the train. There's like singing sirens. It's awesome.
Yeah, the audio package was really, really cool. And so after that ride, we were pretty exhausted, so we headed back to cabin. And then meanwhile, while we're doing all that, Noah stayed back at the water park, and so did Grandma and her friend Sharon. But Noah was mostly at the water park solo. And I think Noah can tell us more about his experience at the water park. He went to, did you end up at the Muffleheads Beach Bar with Grandma and Sharon at all? Or?
I did, yeah. Towards the, actually when I did go to get them water, I came back and they were at Muffleheads.
Okay.
And so just in time to get them some water. And I can't remember what drinks they got. I can't remember, well, Grandma. I know Sharon got a mojito and there was no sugar. And so it was, she said it was very sour.
Sorry, Sharon.
I got a Long Island iced tea, and that was pretty good. It's different than the Engine House number 3 Long Island iced tea inside of the roller coaster section of the park, which is interesting. I guess everybody mixes it differently.
Probably.
But it was good. It was expensive as Cedar Point drinks go. Normally it was, I think, a $16 drink.
What rides did you go on? Any water rides? What rides did you go on while you were at the water park?
I cannot remember the name of it, but I did actually go on one water slide, and then I went on the wave pool, and of course the lazy river, or the Castaway Rapids, I believe it's called.
Okay, and then you went to the Crystal Rock Cafe.
Yep, that's where we went for food with Grandma and Sharon.
I'm a little jealous. I kind of wanted to try the sandwich. How was that? You got the Cubano.
Yep, and that was really good.
Did they get the chicken?
They did.
Chicken Philly, I think they call it.
Yeah, the chicken Philly, and they seemed to like that.
Perfect.
I've got some good pictures of that, so that'll be in the video.
Yeah, so Grandma and Sharon, by the way, they got a meal plan for the day, and we had advised them to go ahead and get one and just split it. The premium one that has the drinks, and that worked out for them very, very well. They could have taken way more advantage of that, and you can only eat so much.
Yep.
Yeah, the heat, at least for me, I mean, maybe it doesn't do it for everybody, but it tends to lessen the appetite.
Yep.
So.
And then just drink more water.
Yeah.
Hanging out in the water
If
park.
you're not doing that, you better start.
Yeah, drink water if you're going to Cedar Point on these hot days, because you don't want to end up dehydrated.
And then did you have anything else you wanted to add about the water park at all?
Not really, other than that it was really busy. Like, usually I'm used to going to the water park and you can wait like 15 minutes to get on any slide you want and stuff. I waited for probably 45 minutes.
That's a long
for
wait.
like 30 to 45 minutes for,
It's a long wait
for a water slide.
In the water.
Yep, and it's very short.
So we actually all ended up back at the cabin around the same time to relax for a minute and rehydrate. And I actually I'm like all surprised that we did that, because there was a slight mishap with a device that allowed me not only track Noah and know where he's at, he couldn't see where we were at, and we couldn't communicate with him. And this is also why you're not getting a whole ton of B-roll from the water park.
Yeah. The mishap being that my phone is not as waterproof as the IP68 rating claims.
It says it, but you should still get a dry bag.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably a good idea.
And after a bit of rest there at the cabin, the three of us, since we met back up, we were exhausted, almost bitterly
I was
exhausted.
so grumpy, so tired.
We had to go and get that picture from that card from Sirens Curse. They couldn't scan the phone when we went through it.
We needed our ride photo.
All I had was the watch because everything was in the lockers.
Yep.
When we got the locker outside of Sirens Curse, being well prepared, I got it for 2 hours. There's no freaking way the 1 hour wait that I was expecting was going to be 2 hours, right? I mean, I'd wait an hour and a half. Oops. So
it's a little over 2 hours.
2 hours and 25 or 6 minutes with a 2 hour locker thing. The lockers time out and lock. You have a way to retrieve, you can punch in your stuff.
Yeah.
And it tells you, yes, it's here, and you got to pay more money to unlock it.
Yeah.
But my credit card is in the locker.
Yeah,
so
we can't pay to unlock it.
So it didn't take me long, even though I'm brain fried at this point from standing in that line. It didn't take me long to just see the nearest Cedar Point employee, and I went right up to Sebastian and said, "Excuse me, sir, this is what's going on." He recognized right away, so that looks like that may have been an ongoing issue.
Definitely happened before.
And so he was able to call somebody over. They helped us get it unlocked.
Yeah, we were able to get our things.
All right, so we had the Sirens Curse photo on the card. We needed to add it to Fun Pics. And the way that we did that was we took the shuttle from Lighthouse Point and we took it to the main entrance.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to mess around with the marina entrance.
Once they get it fixed, it'll be really convenient, but right now,
I feel like that's going to be the popular entrance for the shuttle because of Delraven, Sirens Curse, Millennium Forest, and then of course Coaster's Diner is right there.
Yeah.
And so while we were back in the park, we just took the time to hang out at the bar at the Grand Pavilion. So we went and got our photo at Fun Pics, and we dragged our butts all the way to the Grand Pavilion. Thank God it's not too far. Got into that air conditioning. There was most of the tables were pretty full, so we just picked a spot at the bar. And then we actually end up, after we had a few sips and hung out for a while, I was feeling much better. What I wanted is to get my appetite back, and I knew that drinking water and relaxing and having something cold, because we drank a lot of water while we sat there too.
Yeah.
I knew that would help, and then we were able to go find a table, and then we had probably one of the best meals I've ever had at Cedar Point.
Yeah. We ordered the honey garlic chicken drumsticks, I think they call them.
Yep.
And you got extra sauce?
I got extra sauce. I had him pour it on the side. He looked at me funny, but I had him do it.
Yep. And then the side salad. And you rip the chicken off the bone, cut it into smaller pieces, and put it in the salad, and then mix that honey garlic sauce in with the salad as a dressing. And it makes a really good chicken salad.
Yeah.
I saw somebody do it on, I think, Cedar Point Dining Club.
Yeah, we will dig that up and try to credit them in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
Genius
to
idea.
whoever figured that out.
Yeah.
It was really good and a perfect dinner after a really long, hot day.
Absolutely. It was
delicious.
exactly what we all needed.
Yeah.
And nobody was no longer grumpy. We were all happy and cooled down and hydrated and bellies full. And we used 2 food plans to do that too. Like we were hungry. I mean, so
yeah, we got 2 plates.
We got 2 plates. So there's 4 drumsticks, 2 side salads. We didn't even use all the second side salad. There's so much grass in there.
Hey, those salads
One thing
are
to
pretty
mention, we did end up taking the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and the onions from one side salad and mixing it with the other.
Absolutely.
So that we could
That's
have.
definitely worth mentioning.
big. They need to put more of that stuff in the salads.
Yeah, it shouldn't all be dandelion greens.
There were like
I think that's what most of it was too, was dandelion greens.
There were like 3 little strips of onion for the whole salad.
Yep. And radishes are good for you on a hot day, but most people probably don't eat them. I guess that's why they're not in there. I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people don't like them.
So now, after plenty of rest and their bellies full, we headed back to the cabin. We did that by taking the shuttle. Of course, I'm addicted to this thing now.
Yeah, the
Yes.
shuttle is pretty nice. Even on days where we're not like staying on the island, I think it would be pretty cool to use the shuttle.
I was going to keep that as a secret, but Cedar Point Hack takes a shuttle from the main entrance to the Magnum entrance if you want a quick ride to the back with a nice comfy air-conditioned seat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then we took it from that main entrance. When we walked out, there was lightning within 10 miles 30 minutes before they closed. So everything was already closed. So everybody
Yep.
else was already walking out too. We walked towards the wall of black clouds.
As we were walking out, you could see the lightning
Yep.
in the distance.
So this park was closed. It was time to go. And we walked right up to that shuttle bus stop right at the same time they were pulling up. Worked out perfectly.
Yep.
And
It's pretty common with the shuttle.
yeah, no, everything.
It's pretty quick.
The guys that drive too, they're all great, and the gals. And they got us back to Lighthouse Point, and it was another pleasant evening at the cabin.
Yeah.
And we woke up this morning nice and refreshed, and you know, we were gonna go to the park. You know,
We were really considering it. We
Yeah.
got all the way into the preferred parking lot, got out of the car, and we're about to head into the park, and just decided not to.
it's warm. It's been warm.
I'm
and
already sunburnt really bad. That's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt outside,
Yep.
and it's summer.
We'll be back in a few days. Anyway.
Yeah, why go on probably one of the busiest days of the year and one of the hottest days of the year and just endure all of that when you don't have to?
Right.
Go
Yeah.
back
I mean,
next
who
week.
knows?
We'll be
I
back
mean,
on
Friday
Friday.
may be perfect. So.
Right.
Or not, we'll see. It's always good. That's the thing. A lot of people ask questions like, how's the weather? How's it going to be? You don't know until you get there.
You really
This whole
can't predict
week,
it.
Every 6 to 12 hours, I was checking the weather, and it changed. And what that told me, and this is actually good information for this time of year for this area, is heat-related thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, they can predict the rain, but they can't predict where or when it's going to hit because they're very small cells that just erupt out of nowhere. And next thing you know, you got thunder and lightning. They're shutting the rides down. Everybody gets mad. But that's the way it goes. If you really want the best experience, maybe not early summer is not the time.
Yeah.
So
It's really hot outside anyway.
yeah, it is. So
Later in the summer when it dries out might be a better time for some people.
absolutely, yeah. Well, and we really enjoy hollow weekends because fall weather is always the best weather.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, I think that's about it. That sums up our weekend. We had a wonderful time at Cedar Point as usual.
Yeah, we always have a
Even
great
if
time.
there's little speed bumps, we always have a great time. Just go, and you'll figure it out as you go. Try to have a loose plan. Don't be too rigid, or you're going to get upset. And,
Yeah.
Definitely
with
have
that-
something though.
Sometimes things go wrong.
Yep. And take lots and lots and lots and lots of water.
Water.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, we're just going to say goodbye, and thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.